This chapter, animal ethics, although it's very small chapter but of great importance. And the first question why this chapter is because we are bringing life to the debate, and discussions are there worldwide whether to use animals for research or not. And we researchers, doctors are willing to do animal research for welfare of human and animal community. Also, we are getting more and more concerned that how optimally use the animal without harming them. In this discussion, we will summarize what the ethics, what the animal experimentation, opposite views on animal research, how to reach towards animal ethics, few international bodies of animal ethics, regulation of animal ethics in India and in our institute, that is IAEC, and pro forma of IAEC. So what the ethics? We learned a lot from different lectures. For animals, basically they don't have any direct communication system with the human. So for animal ethics, most of the things are well written and well documented in the form of guidelines and suggestions. And only we are the advocates of the animals. So here you will find the three-tier strategies, like for policy makers, what to do and what not to do. They have to decide. For managers, what to approve and what not to approve. And the onus goes maximum to the researchers, individual researchers, for what not to practice and what to practice. Most of the time researcher is alone with their animal, and the maximum onus goes to the shoulder of researcher. Let me understand what the animal experimentation is. Basically, there are three pillars of animal experimentation. The first one is experimentation on living vertebrates arises ethical clearance in India. Please remember, experimentation on living vertebrates requires ethical clearance in our country. That experimentation must be causing pain and distress to the animal, and these two things must be for a specific goal and a specific purpose. Now coming to the opposite views on animal research, as I said in earlier slide, that still discussion is going on whether to use animal for research or not. So community is divided in two segments, few are advocating and few are opposing. So what advocates are saying, that human life has greater intrinsic value than animal life. They also say legislations protect all live animals from cruelty or mistreatment, and millions of animals are being killed every year for the food purpose. So doesn't a fistful of animal must be utilized for biomedical research? And very few animals feel pain and distress, and they get euthanized before they actually start feeling this stress and pain. Also, we have developed many vaccines, therapies, biomedical devices with help of animal research. How can we forget these many findings with help of animal models? So coming to this picture, I am just trying to discuss how can we decide the intrinsic value in all these four figures. You will find that animals are serving for humankind. So we may make our mind that human has greater intrinsic value than animal. Let's see some other pictures. Here the scenario is just opposite. like in previous slide, animals were for us. Here we are captivated and animals are enjoying. Also, how can we forget the story of gas chambers, story of captivated innocent citizens? So there is misconception that probably we are overlaying the dominance upon intrinsic value. And here comes the opponents. They say animals has as much right to live as human. Although there is strict controls, but they are not preventing animal abuse, and there are regular instances across the world. And if someone is doing research, why to euthanize the animal? Because death is unnecessary for research, and because animals do not have direct communication with human, so how can we understand whether they are feeling pain or not? Also, there are many type of limitations between animal and human. Although there are limitations between different species and strain of animals, so it's really very tough to extrapolate the data of particular animal study to the human. Here is brief summary like differences and limitations of anatomic structure, genetic regulations, pathophysiological mechanisms and pathways, PK and PD property of drugs. And in this picture, we will try to learn, is it necessary to develop a good shampoo by eye irritation test of rabbit? Can a human offer his or her eyes for these developments? Can we offer our skin to develop good bandits? Definitely not. Then why to harm the animals only? So I think some discussions definitely has been aroused in your mind, and that is the success of this discussion and chapter. There are another facts. This is the path of drug discovery. There is 64% failure from preclinical to phase 1 clinical trial, but there is 65% failure from phase 3 to the drug registration. This finding also shows that even if we do the study only with human, there is 65% chances of failure. Then why to unnecessarily harm the animals? This is very good publication. You should browse why most published research findings are false. They have highlighted failure of multicentric studies, failure of repetition of data in repeat studies, and poor biostat designing of different studies. So the now question arises, if there is so many type of problems, how to practically approach for good animal ethics? And point wise, first we should design our experiment properly. Definitely you'll get lectures about experimental designing in coming sessions. And biostatistical planning, as Amita ma'am has told in previous lecture, that there should be optimal biostatistical design because you are planning your own research. And if someone is doing biostat analysis after experimentation, it is just the postmortem of your data. So please do planning beforehand. Selection of suitable animal models. Among animals, there are variety of species, and among a single species, you will find many strains. So every strain and every species is not suitable for that particular disease model. We should select the suitable animal model for getting an optimal research outcome. Then randomization. This is the greatest tool after biostatistical planning and designing to get the optimal results from our research. Randomization decreases a lot the biasness of researcher as well as effect of different type of variations. Then following 3 hours, 4 hours and 5 hours of animal ethics, following 5F of animal freedom and your own contribution. Really, we are looking for the contribution of you all. What is the 3R? In year 1959, Russell and Birch has given a theory of concept of 3Rs. 3Rs stands for replacement, reduction and refinement. Starting with replacement, it says that try to replace entire animal studies with some alternatives. It could be in silico, in vitro, organ chips, computer simulations. So try to replace the animal study, animal experimentation if it is possible. Then the next point comes that even after trying very hard, you don't have option to replace it, then try to reduce. We can reduce by two means. Number one is the reducing the number of animals required for a particular study. And another reduction is we should try to use less sentient animals as much as possible. Like directly going to the dog study, better to generate data first with the mice or rat or rabbit, guinea pig. And once there is POC, then you go to the higher animal studies. Also, with concept of reduction, if you and your peer is doing similar type of study, then you can pool the control animals for both studies. And after practicing hard for this reduction, we should look into the refinement. Refinement tells that decrease the pain and distress of animal as much as possible. Like we can opt minimal invasive surgeries, using insulin saline in place of your 14 gauge, 16 gauge and 20 gauge needles. Don't puncture the eye canthus spot taking blood. There are ample of other sites from where we can draw the blood. We should acclimatize of our animal before different type of instruments before real experiment starts. This all decreases the pain and distress and suffering and other physiological and behavioral problem of animal. And please remember, only a healthy and pain-free animal can give you the correct and most optimal data. Coming to the fourth R, gradually people has start thinking what other R's could be added to this concept, and they initiated rehabilitation. This is specifically applicable for the large animals where we should rehabilitate our animal after experimentation. Other R's are in practices like reuse. After giving a withdrawal and wash period to the animals at the end of a particular study, if animal has enough lifespan remaining, we can utilize those animals for the next study. Now coming to the 5F, this F stands for freedom. This was framed by Professor Bramble in year 1965 and adopted by Britain government. It says that animal has right of 5 freedom, and that freedom is from hunger and thirst, from discomfort, from pain, injury and disease, from fear and distress and to express normal behavior. So if we only consider these 7-8 points, definitely you will achieve more than 95% animal ethics concept in your project. Now let me understand some international bodies of animal ethics. The first one is here is ALAC. It is Association for Assessment and Accreditation of Laboratory Animal Care. This is a USA body, started at USA but getting popularized across the world. It is like NABL. They inspect your facility. They critically observe all the documents and practices, and at the last they give their accreditation. So if any facility is ALAC accredited, means it's a international standard facility. This is the website of ALAC, and India is one of the contributory country to the ALAC platform. Next one is the FALASA. It is a European body. This body basically describes every minute details about the animal health, surveillance, experiment practices, study protocols, and different procedural optimization guidelines. This is their website. Another bodies are, this is Japanese body. Gradually the concept arise that Asian Federation. As you know, during multi-centric study, the real bottleneck is the reproducibility of our data. Due to geographical changes, there is huge variation in the animal husbandry and other practices. So many a times there are some different findings in relation to US, UK and other countries. So this Asian Federation AFLAS is trying very hard to describe and justify the geographical variation in the studies. Also, they are trying to bring every country at the same platform. So at least in Asian countries, we can do a homogeneous mode of research. Now moving to the Indian scenario, under Prevention of Cruelty to Animal Act, year 96, a statutory committee was formulated, that is CPCSEA. This is Committee for the Purpose of Control and Supervision of Experiments on Animals. And please remember, this committee takes care of only a minor segment like experiments on animals. If someone is doing some welfare studies or someone is doing some wildlife studies, that do not come under purview of CPCSEA. There are another bodies. One need to take permission from those bodies. But as far as our concern, we deal with the CPCSEA, that is the Central Statutory Committee. This is snapshot of their website. In the tab section, Home, About Us, Online Services, Acts and Rules, Forms, Guidelines, and Contact Us. These guidelines, forms, acts and rules, these three tabs are very important for the desirous candidates who are willing to do animal research. They should definitely browse this website and go through the different guidelines, forms, acts and rules. Now moving to the institutional level, in our institute we have IAEC, Institutional Animal Ethics Committee, which have 5 internal members, Professor Amit Agrawal, Professor Vikas Agrawal, Professor Swasti Tiwari, Dr. Manish Dikshit and myself. Basically these are 5 nodal points where you can discuss your project related requirements and clarifications, also you may contact the previous researchers who have been approved with Animal Ethics Committee. This committee has 4 external members, Dr. D.S. Upadhyay and Dr. Rajesh Kumar Jha. These 2 nominees are from the CSIR CDRI Lucknow. Dr. Mahadev Kumar, he is from CSIR IITR Lucknow, and Mr. Aditya Singh, he is socially aware member, is from a leading pharmacy college. Now coming to the IAC Resource Hub at our institutional website. Once you click the Research Activities tab in our website, at point number 6, you will find links to animal ethics rules. There you will find 2 documents. One is SOP for Institutional Animal Ethics Committee. That will look like this. It has been updated in year 2016. There you will find the detailed guidelines for animal experimenters. If you see, there are 3 topic discussions: Institutional Animal Ethics Committee, Institutional Biosafety Committee, and Animal Experimenters. So whoever is willing to do the animal research, please go through this SOP and read the Animal Experimenters section very carefully. And the second document you will find is IAEC members and Proforma. Here you will find the current Proforma as approved by CPCSA as well as our institute. So please use only current Proforma. It's get updated time to time. Also you may browse the previous website, this CPCSA, for any updated information in section of forms and guidelines. So this is all about animal ethics. The take home message is a humble request. Please do ethical animal experimentation, and researcher itself is the only the best advocate of their animals. And please stop using cosmetics and other things where animals are being used for unnecessary reasons. And finally, get trained. Our animal house opposite to the staff parking, it does under credit courses, 2 different courses were being done. One was the Introduction to Laboratory Animal Science Practices, and another course was Orientation to Laboratory Animal Research. But currently, due to this pandemic scenario, we have halted these courses because we were giving you hands-on practice with animals. So once this pandemic will allow, means once it will be under control and we will be able to interact one-to-one, then we will start these 2 credit courses, and desirous one may join these courses. Definitely you will learn, and definitely you will start loving more to your experimental animals. So thank you.